Okay, guys, welcome back to the Zay and Jay Talk Show. I'm not going to talk in the Rick Ross voice at the beginning of this one. Maybe I'll switch it to the British one, the Scottish, whatever this accent is. Nah, I'm just going to talk normal. But like we do in the beginning of every podcast, I just hope that every one of you guys have had a good week. Got some things done that you needed to get done. Accomplished a few goals here and there, you know. Me, I didn't really do that shit. Just did a lot of brainstorming. Got some stuff together in my life. So, Josh, how was your week?
It was pretty good, man. It was pretty productive. We had, I don't really want to talk about it too much, but I had some complications in the family. So we'll you already know about that. But, other than that, everything seems to be going okay. I'm just going to have to go up to Georgia tomorrow to deal with some of those things in the family. And then, other than that, the week was good. I made a good paycheck today, and we got a skit done that we wanted to do, and now we're podcasting, and this is what I've been looking forward to all week. So things are good, man.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like I said, I'm sorry about what happened. And,
it's all good, man. It's life. And you know what? Life gives us, crazy turns at the most random moments when you least expect it. But that's why you have to live every day to the fullest, and don't be afraid to take chances and risks.
Yeah, for sure. Even if you're not religious, I mean, what I believe is God puts those obstacles in your life so that you can overcome them and become a stronger person at the end of the day. So. But yeah, hope you guys had a good week. This podcast probably won't be too long. Probably 30-40 minutes or something like that. And I hope that you guys enjoy listening. If you do, please share. Please subscribe. Please like. It helps us out a lot. If you're on Spotify, download it. Subscribe to our Spotify as well. Apple Podcasts. I'm not really sure how all that works over there, but you can find every single episode on there as well. But yeah. So Josh, let's see. We got some topics here. Gonna keep today a little bit more lighthearted. Is there anything that you want to start talking about?
I think we haven't really talked about it much in the prior podcasts. The entire time since we began this podcast, you guys, this coronavirus epidemic has been really hard on the economy. We haven't really talked about it much or what all it's affecting, but I do kind of want to talk about some things that we're going to be seeing soon and what some of the protocol will be like as far as reopening schools and things of the nature. So the first thing I kind of want to talk about is, how strict do you think schools in our area, at least, Isaiah? I don't know if some places, I know a lot of places are still doing online schooling and stuff like that, but as far as getting the children back in the classrooms and getting these college students back in their seats, how strict do you think these health guidelines are going to be after reopening?
Well, that's a really good question. We definitely need the schools back open for multiple reasons. We don't want to get behind. For example, think of somebody that's 9-10 years old. You're like in the prime of your learning, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to get behind, because me, as I've gotten older, I've understood how important education and stuff is nowadays, especially now. So I think, for example, like in Tennessee, the virus is, it's really not
out of control.
all that bad. It's not like out of control, crazy stuff like that. You got to wear a mask if you go inside restaurants and stuff like that. But it's not really too bad. I could definitely see how they could open the schools back up, but maybe like half the students do that and half the students online, or 33% of the students go to the actual school. Or maybe just the students that don't have access to the internet,
right?
Which is, let's be honest, not too many can go to school.
Right. That's kind of a good idea. I'm glad you said that, because a lot of places, a lot of restaurants are doing 50% capacity anyway.
Yeah.
I think the wise thing to do, like let's say for high schoolers, for example, I believe I believe the freshmen and sophomores ought to be able to attend a school and, be in separate classrooms, spaced out apart, change the lunch periods a little bit. But I do believe you should allow maybe the juniors and the seniors that, depending on their credits and everything, allow those juniors and seniors to finish their schooling online, especially if it seems like it's going to be several more months before the entire country opens, or maybe even another year. There's no telling, but I think that would be a pretty good idea.
Yeah, because not too many students, I mean, let's be real, not too many students don't have access to the internet at home nowadays. Internet is really easily accessible.
Yeah.
But there are kids out there that are less fortunate and stuff like that.
Right.
They can still go to school, and like I said, there's not going to be that many of them, so they can keep them isolated from one another. But another thing I do want to talk about as far as schools reopening is, especially younger kids and stuff like that, it's not really healthy from them to be away from their friends, from away from other people for too long, because it's not going to be healthy for them in the long run. It's not going to help them socially. It's not going to help them in all aspects of their life. You need to be around other people.
Yeah. You're never meant to be quarantined.
Yeah. For example, like homeschooled kids. I mean, sometimes they turn out okay, but homeschooled kids, I've met a lot of them, like around my age and stuff, and they're always very socially awkward. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But
they didn't have that upbringing. They weren't able to socialize with people their age,
Yeah, and I just think that's very important. It's very important for kids nowadays to be educated and educate themselves to the fullest of what they're even capable of doing, as far like even if it's private school. I can't talk. Private school, public school, homeschool, any kind of school. I'm very adamant on them opening up the schools and stuff again. I think it's very important. That's just me. I know a lot of people are crazy, like, oh no, shut the schools down, shut them down. No, fuck, nope, nope, never again, nope. Billy's staying home. He ain't going over there. He ain't wearing no mask. Nope, he's staying home. No, man, it's important. Like, it's important at the end of the day. I can't stress that enough, because when you have an education, you then learn to be able to think for yourselves. And then when you can think for yourselves, that's when you get into that mindset of, hey, I can do this life thing. And when you get out of high school, it's even more important, if that makes sense, to be able to think for yourselves, because social media is turning so many people into sheep nowadays. And I know it circles back around to that. Turn so many people into sheep, and what's so important, not only in this country but in this entire world, the most important thing that we can do is to be able to at least think for yourselves and form your own opinions and stuff, because before you know it, if too many of these kids start just watching videos or something like that, or watching CNN or the news, and not to mention that the school systems are just corrupt as it is, and what they're trying to teach the kids and teach our kids and stuff like that. It's just important for people to be able to think for themselves. That's kind of what this podcast is all about, just trying to get you guys to think for yourselves. I don't care if you disagree with me. If I at least open your eyes, or if Josh opens your eyes a little bit, gives you that opportunity to be able to think for yourselves, whether or not you disagree or agree, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're thinking for yourself, hey, I did my job. And Josh did his job. I know that kind of spiraled. I can't talk today. I need some water. But spiraled off into a different direction. But I really do think that schools need to be back opened. And I think that my idea of having some kids go to the school and most of them staying at home just until everything calms down after Election Day, most likely. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, all of that, everything that you just touched on, every time that you talk, I feel like there's nothing else I can comment on because you just covered everything so well. But, education is incredibly important, but so is social interaction. Humans were not, bred to be quarantined. They didn't,
our
people
mothers
weren't
and
raised to be
fathers did
quarantined.
not mate for us to just be lonely bastards.
Exactly. And if you're sitting here quarantined, how are you going to mate with anything? You got to go out and you got to find something to mate with.
you gotta be socially active if you want to go find you gotta go find a mate out in this world.
You got to be socially and sexually active to make the world work.
Yeah. Make America great again.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, man.
So I think we pretty much touched up all on the school topic and stuff like that. I kind of flew off the handle and started rambling.
Man, what about, well, I'm glad we talked about that. Isaiah, what about more on the government, coronavirus, economic impact stuff? What are you thinking about, the Federal Reserve and the IRS and all of them? Everybody's kind of, seems like they're kind of BSing on the stimulus check. They keep talking about a second stimulus check. I keep hearing all this news about how much it's going to be and who's going to be eligible and when it's coming out, but I still don't know anything definitive. I haven't heard anything.
Last thing that I heard, they were talking about doing a stimulus only for people that have an income of $40,000 or $45,000 or less.
Right. Is that that's per single person?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's household.
It's like 90,000, per couple or whatever.
Yeah, I guess so.
Plus the child and all that, like they've been talking about. Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't think it's household, but I've heard about that. In all honesty, the stimulus, it's almost August. The last stimulus we got was like April.
I got mine in April. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like in April. So it's been a while. Honestly, I kind of just forgot about it. I'm not even going to sit there and depend on it whatsoever because I'm working again.
We're both working.
But yeah, there's a lot of people out there that just can't work, period. Which really sucks.
They're on unemployment though, and they're not.
Yeah, and they're making more money than probably both of us are, honestly, with unemployment. That's a whole nother topic that I don't want to get into.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It all depends on where you live too, a lot of
Yeah, here in
variables.
Tennessee it's $600 a week on unemployment. That's just straight up bullshit. That's a lot. I know a lot of people that have quit their jobs simply to get on unemployment.
I thought you can only apply. You can
get on unemployment if you have been fired
or laid off or something. Yeah, I didn't think you could just quit and get unemployment.
Well, not quit, but they do something stupid, get fired on purpose. They stop showing up, something like that. So they quit, but they get fired in the process.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe if you quit, I don't know how that works. I don't know all the details of that. But like I said, I think it's bullshit. The $600 a week, like, come on, bro. $600 a week? We're $2,400 a month for not doing shit, just sitting on your ass, playing World of Warcraft. Like, I don't know, bro. It don't really make any sense to me. I don't think it's fair because I'm out there working, putting my health at risk for other people. And half the people are not, you can get into the whole mask discussion. Me personally, I think that you have the right to not wear a mask if you don't want to. That's just me. I think that if you're around 10, 15, 20 people in a small space, I think you probably should wear a mask. It's probably smart to wear a mask. Even though it's a 99.7% chance of survival if you get the coronavirus. But still, there's that 0.3% that you could die, It's mainly for the old people, though. The elderly, they're the ones that, and most of them have underlying conditions and stuff like that. I understand. If for example, at the service desk when I work at Walmart and I see an elderly woman or man walk up, I'll tighten up my damn mask. But if it's anybody else, I'm having that shit uncovering my nose. Because if I'm have that thing over my face for 9-10 hours a day, that shit makes my chest hurt after a while. I have a heart murmur. So
people will probably have like health complications, and then that'll be an entire financial fiasco where people will be filing claims against all those people.
Yeah, in my opinion, and this is going to be really controversial when I say this because a lot of people are not going to agree with what I say, but, you know, this is my show, not yours. So, I think that all this is a hoax. That's just my opinion. Is the coronavirus real? Yes, obviously. Are the cases being over-exaggerated? Hell yes. They definitely are. The death counts and stuff like that, they were not talking about the coronavirus when all the riots were going on. But once Trump started doing his rallies and stuff, they're like, oh my God, everybody put a mask on. Everybody put a mask on. I can't believe he's doing rallies out here when the coronavirus is... And that's why it's rising up again, because he's doing rallies. No, bitch. It's not rising up because he's doing rallies. It's rising up because y'all are out there spitting and hollering and cussing and pissing on one another in the damn streets of Chicago and Atlanta and New York City and Portland and Seattle and Los Angeles, everywhere. Y'all are out there rioting, setting buildings on fire and shit like that. So yeah, of course the cases are going to spike up. There's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people in small areas every day setting buildings and shit on fire. So of course they're going to spike up. It's not because Trump is rallying. That shit is retarded. And that's what the media will want you to know and want you to think. Oh, Trump is a piece of shit because he's out here rallying when there's a pandemic going on. First off, pandemic's not as bad as they're really making it out to be. It's just not. That's why I think it's a hoax. This is all Democrats and stuff just trying to see how far we will go to follow every single thing that they say. Like, jump, we're going to jump. Jump off a fucking bridge. Most of y'all are going to jump off that bridge. Me, I'm going to have some common sense, and I'm going to think twice about it. I'm going to be like, should I jump off this bridge? No, probably not. Should I wear this mask even though it's 95 degrees outside and there's hardly any oxygen because the humidity is so damn high? No, I'm not going to wear the mask. But they want us to wear the mask as soon as we go out the door. As soon as we go out the door. And that's bullshit. Your thoughts, Josh? Anything you have to say on these dumbass masks?
Honestly, I don't have to wear them the entire time that I work. I'm not at the front counter anymore. I'm more kind of, behind the scenes helping the technicians out and issuing them work and selling for their parts and all of that stuff, talking to customers, The only thing I'm really not doing so much of anymore is handling transactions and stuff, which is good, so I don't have to be face-to-face with as many people on a daily. But when I am, whenever my dad's out or whenever somebody's out of the building, I just put on a mask real quick, and, even for those few minutes, handling that transaction, like, I take that mask off, and I'm like, dude, my lungs hurt. Because, I'm still kind of, I'm sure my lungs are still recovering from smoking cigarettes, and I know that you never smoke or anything like that, so, your lungs are much healthier than mine, but it's a lot tougher on my lungs, so it's, and plus, I'm a little bit asthmatic, but it's tough on me, and I certainly don't enjoy it, and I think it's kind of pointless, especially like the other.
If you can smell a fart through that mask, then you're gonna get COVID.
Right.
Like, it's simple as that. I've had somebody rip ass like right next to me, just rip all kinds of ass. Like, that shit went.
Yeah, and that's going through the filter of their clothes. Bro. That's going through the filter of their clothes and your mask. So yeah, you can't keep everything out, and that's just common sense. It's not like those things are completely closed and sealed off. Otherwise, if nothing was able to get in, you would pass out.
Yeah, and our local police is actually pretty much against the whole mask thing because they said that they refuse to enforce the law.
You can't. You can't.
And I'm glad that, let's be honest, most police, they have common sense. There's some bad ones out there, excuse me. But,
I just think it's totally
get on the damn ground, put a mask on. Like, nobody's gonna do that, man. Calm down.
No, it was kind of like the other day when you and I went to go eat at that Cheddar's place, and everybody was spaced. All the tables were spaced out 6 feet apart, but you know, I asked that lady, I was like, do I have to wear a mask? And she's like, no, y'all are about to be seated, so it doesn't really, you know. So so I didn't. And,
I mean, as soon as you sit down, you take the mask off. What are you gonna do? Cut a little hole in your mask? That would defeat a purpose.
Eat through it. Just eat through it. Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not thinking outside the box. They're just like, oh, we need to wear a mask. I'm gonna get COVID if I don't wear a mask.
You avoid it. You gotta avoid it the same way you avoid everything else. You know, keep your damn hands clean.
Wash your damn hands.
Stay away from people.
Don't sneeze on no damn body. Don't cough on nobody. If you have to cough, if you are coughing, for one, you probably shouldn't be outside. Because, I mean, it could be COVID. You know, I mean, I tried to go on to work yesterday, and they would not let me work because I had the sniffles. And I still have the sniffles. My nose is runny, and my throat kind of is a little bit sore, but that could just be because I've been talking a lot today. So I'm kind of wondering if they're going to even let me work tomorrow, honestly. I'm going to go in and be like, hey, I have these symptoms, and honestly, they'll probably just send my ass home, which all I know is they better pay my ass for it if they're not going to let me work, because, I mean, it's bullshit, man. Like, I need money at the end of the day. I'm not just going to call in because I have a sniffly ass nose. Oh my God, me and Josh had a conversation, text back and forth.
Oh, that was so funny.
We always go off the handle and text. He's like, oh, sniffing ass mother. How about you take your sniffly nose ass home? And I was like, listen here, you balding bitch.
Fuck your paycheck, dude. That shit's mine now, dude. Fucking sniffling ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh man, Lord have mercy.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and ask you if you want.
Sure, go ahead.
So we'll just go ahead and get into this, and then we'll kind of talk about a more serious topic after this. So for our random topic of the day, it's not going to be anything silly this time, which I think we should try to bring back the silly stuff more often. But it's good to keep this fruit for thought, because I think this makes a lot of people think in their head, you know, what would they do realistically? So Isaiah, if you could have an all expenses paid vacation to any place in the world, but you had to stay there for, you know, 1 month at least, but here's the catch, you know, you've got any money that you need, right? And you can't use this money for any of these commodities, but you have you've got no internet, you've got no phone, no video games, you know, no consoles, none of that. You know, of course, you can have electricity wherever you're living. You know, you're not gonna be a primate, you know, living in a cave or something crazy. So where would you go if money wasn't an issue, if you had to stay there for at least a month, but you had no internet, no phone, no video games, you couldn't take pictures of nothing really, you know, no electronics could be on your person. What would you do for that month at least, or where would you go?
Okay, so the place that I would go to, most of you guys probably already freaking know. I would pick a spot outside of Japan on an island, alright? It would be like, I'd pick an island to where the weather is nice and the temperature is nice, not hot as hell, not cold as shit. I'll go out there, and here's the catch, the catch, right? I'm gonna be there for a month, right? No access to anything whatsoever, but I have, did you say unlimited money?
No, you've got, listen, so the only thing that you are not allowed to possess is going to be like materialistic first world items, like your phone and your consoles, like no internet. Like, you have any kind of money you need, you know, you can go get yourself a car or whatever you want, you know.
Alright. Okay, so this is what I would do. I would hire a whole bunch of people, alright?
Okay.
To build me a house.
Okay.
Like a little shack, like a 1-bedroom, got the shitter, you got the sink, the shower, all that stuff, and a bed with a nice open porch, right? With a big ass sakura tree in my backyard, just putting shade over my entire yard.
Gotta have the sakura tree.
I'm looking out on the ocean at Mount Fuji, and I just sit there for the whole month, man, and just relax. Like, and so we'd be by ourselves, right?
Yeah, it's just you, or if you decide to bring somebody or a friend or a girl or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, I'd probably bring like. There's some people I probably wouldn't bring. Anybody that I feel like would stress me out,
A 2-person
I wouldn't
limit.
bring.
Let's say you got a 2-person limit.
All right, well I'd probably bring you, and I don't know. Like hypothetically, if I have a family in the future, I'd bring my wife and my child.
Right.
But like if it was today, if it was like tomorrow, I'd probably bring you, and I don't know who the other person.
I mean, it would be pretty easy. I'd probably just, grab up you or Haley, or if you weren't available, I've got plenty of people I'm sure who would take up the opportunity. Or if Haley couldn't go, I'd grab you and maybe, grab my buddy Noah or somebody, anybody who's available to go.
Yeah.
Even if I was gonna go solo, I would be fine. But
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna go by myself
yeah,
and just chill. And I know that sounds like unproductive, and people make fun of me in the comments and stuff like that. Like, oh, he just wants trees and rain and mountains and I mean, here's the way I look at it, right?
Yep.
The simple things in life are the best things in life. Don't try to overcomplicate your life with materialistic things, and because the more things you have, truly, the more problems that you're going to end up having. That's just the way I look at it. I've never really needed all that much stuff growing up. I've just wanted peace. Like, that's what I want. I want to be able to relax, chill, and just vibe out by myself. Can we listen to? No, we don't have a radio. Or anything.
No electronic. Well, I mean, if you've got a car, maybe you can listen to some music on there. But you're in a foreign country, so you can't have your iPhone hooked up to it or nothing. Listening to what you want to listen to.
Got that Japanese. I'll hire somebody. See, we got unlimited money. I'll hire somebody to play like one of those flutes.
Oh,
yeah, that shit would be fire,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
Just have them sitting there playing the music, just chilling. Then they take turns, I'll probably learn some Japanese while I'm over there.
Might as well. I mean, you have to be over there for at least a month if it becomes a complication for any reason. I mean, like, if you're gonna
probably
stay
learn
there,
some Japanese. I mean,
Yeah.
I already know some words.
you can just hire somebody to speak it for you, bro. Just be like, dude, be my translator, and he'll
Yeah.
just translate for you, and you don't have to say nothing to nobody.
Yeah, but I mean, I've never been on vacation, so when I think of a vacation, I don't think of, oh, let's go here, let's go here, let's go here, let's go here. I think of, like, I need some time off.
Like, where would I live temporarily?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
just to chill, man. And that little place that I would build, for one, I would just probably buy out that whole damn location, just name it Mount Zay or some shit. I don't know. And I would just come back there like every year and stay for a few days and just, yeah, I think that'd be really
Well, that sounds
awesome.
That sounds ideal, and that sounds even though you didn't say a specific place, even being off the coast of Japan a little bit on a private island by yourself, just doing your own thing, that would be really relaxing. You don't have anybody to answer to.
I don't know how Japan's government and shit is. I haven't really researched it all that much, so I don't know how much freedom I would have. But as long as I can own a piece of land or something like that, an unclaimed island or something like that.
If you were off the coast enough distance, there is no law. Nobody owns the ocean or anything like that.
That's true.
So, but that means you're open to be pillaged and whatever. So.
Yeah, I could have some damn pirates come up and try to knock down my trees and shit. Can't have all that.
Yeah, you had to hire some mercenaries or something. Somebody to surround the island.
I'm gonna have Goku and Sasuke and Naruto and Vegeta just all sitting out front posing and shit.
Shoot, I hope you got a lot of ramen and zenzu beans laying around, bro, because they need need some kind of payment.
Hell yeah, dude.
Anyway.
What about you?
God,
what about you?
that
sit back and listen to this.
That got silly at the end, bro. Sasuke.
Yeah.
Oh
Sasuke.
man, I wouldn't even go anywhere near that place, bro. Y'all, you can just have the place, bro. I swear.
He'd look at you one time with that Renegon, like, all right, well,
Nah, I'm gonna go ahead and turn around and go back to the States.
I'm gonna go
This is
He's
Japan.
got a whole Sharingan. I'm gone, dog.
This is Japan. I forgot
Not
people had
that.
superpowers. People got superpowers over here, bro.
Got whole ass heroes over here. I don't know about all that.
Oh man.
Cape flapping and shit.
Oh my
Sasuke
God.
got one arm and he still whooped my ass.
He whooped my ass with a finger, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway, but if you get a chance to look this up, if you can just check on your computer, this place is called Hallstatt, Austria, and it's like a lakeside town in Austria, and apparently it's the most photographed place in Europe, which for privacy's sake this wouldn't be a good place to be, but it's just such a small, quaint, low population town that, I would probably just, I would try to, like, even though money wouldn't be an issue, I would probably try to, like, live sort of simplistically. You see how pretty that is?
Yeah, bro.
It's surrounded by mountains. There's an ancient salt mine, in the town or near the town. It's all 16th century Alpine style houses. What I would do is, I'd probably go ahead and I'd buy myself one of those little townhouses there in the middle of the city. Get myself like a little bike or a motorcycle or something and just, ride somewhere and get breakfast in the morning. I would buy myself a little boat, go out, on the lake every day, for a couple hours or an hour or whoever I'm with, if that's what they want to do, that's cool. They can go do their own thing. Money's no issue. I'll give them like 10 grand or 10,000 euros or whatever they need. And they can go do their thing, and I'll go be out in the middle of the lake in my little boat, fish a little bit, sustain myself, catch my meal, my lunch for the day or something, something simple like that, something rewarding, start my own fire and cook it there, clean it, it would be, Austria and, Germany and all that stuff, that's so close to my roots, that's, my blood, it's, heavy, Scandinavian and German and Irish blood, so, I feel like in a place like that, I would feel so at home, and it would just, it's such a low population, everybody, probably knows everybody. I would love to go somewhere like that, one day and explore,
He's gonna walk out of his little townhouse and he's gonna turn around. Hey, sugar hoggy hitch, you gonna. Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
How you doing, car?
It's just like being in an area that like you're talking 16th century Alpine houses, like just to know that your family probably went by there at one point, your ancestors probably were in that area at one point while those were being built, or you might have had some distant ancestors that helped build those structures, or that helped
It's cool to think about.
It's just just the historic means of it, and to get in touch with your roots and in your blood, your true family, where you came from before you were migrated to another country, just to feel that connection, would be beyond anything else. But it's such a beautiful place. You could live the simple life. You could live there. It's probably not cheap, but
No, it's definitely not. If you look up pictures of this place, guys, if you're listening on Spotify or something like that, it'll be easy for you.
Yeah.
Just close your phone and type in Hallstatt, Hallstatt.
Austria, yeah. And
Austria.
Then, it's beautiful, so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's the mountains. Everything seems really warm and cozy down at the bottom. You start looking, toward the tops, and you got these little, the mountains that are surrounding are covered in snow caps.
Looks like a damn Call of Duty map.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and if they do make a COD map out of it sometime, that'd be cool. But it would have to be in ruins because this place looks way too peaceful to just start war.
Oh yeah.
But that's where I would go ideally. I would, I would just live the simple life out there, man. I would just live simple, and I would have no trouble being there by myself, probably.
Josh would be sitting there taking a shit, just in his little. I'll hear. Oh hell no!
So I'm moving
Isaiah
back.
predicted it. Why'd he say it, man? I was just trying to.
Oh, I'm going back to the States.
I'm gonna go over there to Zay's Island, man. Forget this.
Man, I'm going to
I
Mount
don't
Fuji.
care if Sasuke's there, man. Me and Sasuke, we can hit it off, maybe. I don't know. Just can't look into his eyes. Anyway. Okay. All right. So, what is our? I'm I just have
Bro,
a
your
funny
throat probably
vision.
hurts so bad, bro.
No, I wasn't really all that loud.
It sounded like your throat was like
was-
giving out, bro.
No, I'm good.
Oh man.
Let's see. I'm
But,
scrolling up through our text messages because I'm
yeah.
trying to look for the topic, and I
But,
scrolled up too far, and I see that picture I sent to you with that green guy. Shrek ass mother. And underneath it, I put Mr. Serial Bitch.
Oh my god.
Oh god, my
Okay.
cheeks hurt, man.
Isaiah,
So-
I got a question for you. Or so
what?
okay, never mind. Go ahead and say what you were gonna say then. Shit.
Nah, go ahead, bro.
No, I mean it was gonna probably be what you were about to say, so go ahead.
So, Josh, if you made $20 extra a day, how do you think that could change your life?
Well, just knowing how simple you could make $20 extra a day. Let me ask you a question first before we start talking about this scale, Isaiah. How easily do you think you could find $1 a day? Like, do you think you could probably find $1 laying around like in change? You know, you can probably look around decently for an entire day.
Rob
You know,
somebody,
just at
like,
just
yeah.
at work or at home or whatever. Just looking around. You
pull
can
up
probably
on an old lady.
yeah. Just say you got change in your
Tell her
purse.
to-
I need
Yeah, like you can have all the change in the bottom of your purse. Like, not pull up on her aggressively. Just
give me a
be like,
change.
hey, Meemaw, can I have your quarters in the bottom of your...
So, but
You like that, Meemaw?
but you acknowledge though that it's easy to get $1 a day. You can probably get $1 a
Yeah.
day not doing nothing.
I mean, I remember at school, like, people used to hustle, like, hey, you got $1 so I can go to the vending machine? Like, it was pretty easy back then, and we were all broke. So, I mean, if you're in a workplace, I mean, it'd probably be pretty easy.
But
I'm not saying bum it off somebody, but
no. I mean you could.
scavenge.
I mean you could.
Go out in the parking lot, look for pennies and shit. I don't know if you want to do all that, but
If you're
Anyway.
dedicated. Anyway, if you were to grind, really put your nose to the grindstone and make that extra $1 a day, somehow, that would make you an extra $365 a year. And I know that sounds super basic, and that's really low in proportion. But let's say that you started, doing like a chore for somebody every day for like $5 a day. So like,
or $20, like
or
what we were saying.
like we were saying,
Mow a lawn every day.
mow a lawn every day, or find, do anything, in that proportion.
Help Meemaw out.
help Meemaw. Let Meemaw give you $20 out of her Social Security check.
Yeah.
If she could
Tell
do
Graham she needs to get off her ass. And start.
$20 a day would make you an extra $7,300 a year in untaxed revenue. Now, don't put this stuff in your bank account because the IRS will probably try to tax you on capital gains. Like, where'd that money come from? But if you're somebody that makes $25,000 a year, making $32,300 a year is really good, considering that other $7,300 is not taxed, and you could make $20 a day easy. Even if you had like an online business and you had a $20 product for sale, something like a pool float, like $15-$20 product, you can sell one of those a day and make an extra $7,300. Or if you sell two of those a day, that's an extra $14,600 a year. That can significantly change your life. That can increase your standard of living. That can help you move into a new place, help you buy your new car. And if you get
Early
to where
retirement,
you can, anything,
help your kids go to college.
anything, and it changes so much for people. Just if you can think about it in the mindset of, I just need to make an extra $20 today. Let's say I want to make an extra $50 today. That's still like another like $14,000. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, for example, like, you can just go through old stuff that you don't use anymore in your house, and you can find, like, Josh made a video on this. Actually, it was one of his first videos on his channel. Like, you can just go, like, if you have an old Game Boy or something like that, like, that you have not used in years, start that shit up. See if it works. Some people will pay a pretty penny to have an old Game Boy Color just to have it, just to be able to have it.
Yep.
Somebody will pay a lot of money for something like that. And that's
Yep.
just one example. Like, you can go in your closet and find clothes. You can find all kinds of stuff that you can either sell. I mean, clothes I would probably just give away, so that was bad. That was a bad example. But old things that you just do not use anymore, like basketball equipment, baseball equipment,
Resell
like
it.
a damn
Sell it.
resell it just for little shit, and then that'll add up over a while, and then before you know it, you've made $2,000
Yeah.
that year just selling stuff.
Yeah, that's just doing stuff that's just selling stuff that you don't need
Just
anymore.
stuff on the side.
Yeah.
Stuff that doesn't take time out of your day whatsoever. You're like, okay, let me sell this. All right, let me sell this. And before you know it, you kind of have a minimalistic lifestyle, and you don't have too much shit around you. Like I'm gonna go back to what I was talking about earlier about having too much stuff in your life. Just kind of, in my opinion, decreases your happiness overall. That's just me. Like, less is more to me. That's how I've always thought. In most cases anyway. Giggity. Anyway, but yeah, you can pretty much sell anything. Old computer equipment, definitely. You could probably sell that shit for $50 to $100 to $150. Like me, I have a whole PC in I hope it's still there. God. It's a good thought. Anyway, I could probably sell that for a pretty penny. Not sure why I haven't yet. I'm thinking about maybe rebuilding it and giving it to Josh so he can have an even better computer. But I'm getting off track.
But
Pretty much you can find anything, sell it for somewhat of a profit.
even if you have nothing to sell, even if you have like a knack for something, if you're skilled in something, you can go on websites like Fiverr. There's a lot of other educational websites that you can sell your courses. You can essentially be a teacher to people online that want to learn a skill that you have to teach, and you can sell a course. Like I could sell an entire personal finance course probably for $50 a piece. And if I could get just one person a day to pay $50 for my course every single day for the entire year, just one person, that would make me an extra $18,250 that, of course, I would be taxed on that, because the only way for you to get paid through Fiverr would probably be through PayPal or something, some way to get it into your bank account through a third party.
Damn, Josh, you charging somebody $50 a day?
No, I'm saying it's $50 to sign up and get the course. So you have one person sign up for it a day. Yeah.
Ooh, I was like, damn, Josh.
Even if you're
nobody's gonna have money after this.
Right. No, if you were charging them $50 a day, they'd be out day one. But or if you had a product for sale, if you were drop shipping, let's say, so let me give you all an example. If you're gonna drop shipping is basically when you find a third-party seller and you're connecting the buyer to the seller, but you actually don't obtain any physical products. So you find a website that or a website's product that you want to sell or advertise, and then what you do is you set up like an Amazon. Let's say Amazon, for example. So you become an Amazon seller, and you go on like Alibaba, and you get like flashlights, like some flashlights, like little tiny novelty keychain LED flashlights, and you sell them for $5-10 a piece. But here's the thing: when you buy them in bulk on Alibaba, let's say you get 1,000 on Alibaba, and at that price, they're probably
sounds like a
40 cents, like 40 cents a piece probably at that point, and you get like 1,000 of them. So you've probably got, $400 or so invested in these. You get them from Alibaba, but you're actually advertising the product that you haven't touched yet. So you take that product and you put it on Amazon and advertise it for $5 a piece. So you're making $5 a piece on something that's really costing you 40 cents a piece. So you sell out all 1,000 of those, and you've made so much more on your money. If it was like 50 cents a piece, that would have been 10 times your money right there. That would have been 10 times your money. So I mean, you can continue to do that, and you don't have to touch any physical product. You can sit there, you can use someone else's product. When somebody decides they want that product, they get it straight from the vendor that you're advertising their product. They get that. You get to pay the vendor the 40 cents, or if you've actually already bought the stuff and you've just sent it over to an Amazon warehouse. Either way, whether it's drop shipping or or you're marking up what they cost. When you do that, you pay the distributor or the vendor, whatever they're advertising it for. So let's say that you were doing it, by the piece. So you're paying them $40 and you get to keep the extra $4, or sorry, you pay them the 40 cents and you get to keep the extra $4.60 for yourself. That's per unit. So that's just, you basically advertise it for a higher price, you keep the difference, and then you pay the original distributor, and that's how you make a living. And there's people that made hundreds of thousands of dollars doing this. And that's just an example. Sell a service or sell a product you can make $100 a day on, or $50 a day on. You make $100 a day, you made $36,500 a year. That would replace my income right now at where I'm at, and I would be super fine with that. And if I didn't have to touch anything and I just had to look at my phone, I would do that. But it's just how people make excuses about how they can't do it and how it's not easy. Sometimes this stuff takes work, and drop shipping is not easy.
Nothing in life is easy.
No, drop shipping is not easy.
Nothing in life is easy.
If you're going to do it and start your own website and stuff like that, it takes some time, it takes money, and you might fail. But you got to pay for the ads, you've got to pay for the website, you've got to make sure you've got the right product, and people will have attractiveness to it. Especially when you pay ads. If you have enough ads to make 250,000 impressions and only 10% of those people buy it, who cares? You got 25,000 sales. And you sat there and you've made, if you're selling them $5 a piece, dude, you've made so much money and you haven't had to look at or touch anything that you're selling. It's amazing. Why am I not doing it? Because I don't feel like I have the security to do that, because I feel like I would do that and get comfortable, and then I would screw around and mess up, and I would lose a bunch of money on something. And it's just not worth it. Definitely make sure you've got some job security. If you're going to do stuff like that, do it part-time. And if it starts to get to where it's making you more than your actual job, maybe cut back on your job a little bit, or go get a part-time job.
Never put all of your eggs in one basket is pretty much what he's saying.
True.
If you're doing something like, for example, if me and Josh, this podcast blew up or something, like if we had like 500,000 views every single time we did a podcast, like, and we had ads on it, right? Probably make us a decent amount of money, right? But does that mean I'm gonna go quit my job? Does that mean Josh is gonna go quit his job? Does that mean I'm just gonna focus solely on this?
Nope.
No. Because for one, especially something like YouTube, where it's really inconsistent. Like, for example, Josh randomly lost like 200 views. I don't know how you lose views.
I lost but at least 100
with my eyes. Like, his views went down. Like, how does your view? I don't understand. Like,
oh man, it made me so angry. I had 330 views on one video. I got like 19 or so subscribers from it. And then I look a day or two later, those views were still there, and they look like they were still climbing, and then now they've been cut by like a third. And I don't get it.
Yeah, and I was just trying to tell him, like, because he woke me up, he was like, bro, we got to start making our thumbnails look better and stuff. They look like fucking dog shit.
I did not say that shit.
We got to start... They look like somebody just took a shit and just started wiping it on the wall. And then they just put Zay and Jay's talk show over it. Just looks like garbage, bro. We gotta make our thumbnails look better. I was like, I remember my response. He thought it was a smart ass response, but I was just trying to be funny. I said, all right, well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a bunch of rainbows in the background, right? And I'm gonna have unicorns flying over the rainbows taking shits. And the little shits that they're gonna be shitting out is pictures of our faces. And he was like, all right, well, shit, you didn't have to be a smart ass. I was just trying to let you know. Like,
I'm deleting the podcast right now, bro. I'm fucking done.
But that's another tip for you guys. Don't worry about numbers for anything in life. Well, besides money. But just don't worry about likes. Don't worry about followers. Don't worry about any of that shit. Because at the end of the day, it's just another number. It's not going to affect your life in the grand scheme of things. That stuff can go bye-bye real quickly over something stupid. Like, for example, I guarantee our podcast would have been taken off of Facebook already,
Yep.
or Facebook, Spotify, all that shit, if we had enough followers that was sharing it and stuff, because we're speaking the truth. We're talking about these kids that are dying in Chicago. We're talking about these things that are going on that nobody wants to really acknowledge. I mean, shit, I have friends that are just so, what word am I looking for? So in denial about some of this stuff. And I know that everybody can't be like me, can't be like Josh and speak your mind and not really care about the consequences. I know that you can't be that. I know a lot of people can't be that way. A lot of people can't be leaders, and that's fine. But what gets me is when they turn around and they talk shit when they pretend to support you. There's a lot of people out there that do that, and yeah, don't have those people like that in your life, because they're only going to bring you down and put you down. It's kind of off topic, but yeah, that got a little personal, but still, don't have people like that in your life. Surround yourself with people that have the same mindset as you. Shit, Josh is pretty much the only friend that I talk to now, because me and him have the same mindset. We want to get this money. We want to set our families up for a good future. And yeah, that's why he's the one person that I wanted to do this podcast with. He wanted to start a podcast for a long, long time. Could never find anybody. Sometimes he asked people and they flat out told him no. Like, all right, well, shit. But yeah. So Josh, I really appreciate you.
I appreciate
sticking
you
with
too.
me.
I appreciate you too, man.
Yeah, like for real.
This shit's not
I'm not
possible
trying to get
without
all-
you, man. I mean, this shit's not possible without you. I
Yeah.
mean, you put in hella work. You make these videos look really good. You work on these thumbnails. You make my channel look better. Giving me tips on stuff. Telling me not to worry or get demoralized by losing views because of YouTube's weird algorithm
Yeah,
and
he
stuff
was-
like that.
He was having not a breakdown this morning, but he was like, bro, it's getting to me. And I'm like, bro, just
I just thought,
Don't let it
I
get
thought
to you.
something was wrong. Like, I thought my channel was messed up or something. I was like, dude, am I gonna be able to it's just not even gonna reflect that I got popping, it's just no, you didn't get that many views.
yeah, it's just, and I just believe that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
That's how I was raised. If something comes of this podcast, cool. If not, then there's something else in store for me. But what I can do right now and what we can do is we can put out the truth. We can speak the truth. A lot of people don't want to hear it. Not too many people are doing it because they're scared of losing their jobs. They're scared of all of that stuff. And I completely understand. If you have a job and they monitor your social media or something, if you say something bad, they fire your ass. I mean,
Yeah.
that's happened to a lot of people.
If you
I understand.
yeah. If you're your
And
own
if you have a
boss,
family to support,
if you're your
Yeah.
own boss, man, it don't matter. You don't have to answer to nobody. Don't be afraid.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid to speak your mind. Don't feel like you're a slave to society, and definitely don't feel like you're a slave to your job. Now, I know, like Isaiah's saying, a lot of people.
if you have a family of 3 or 4 and you are see, I don't know, because honestly, I believe that you should be able to speak your mind, period. This is freaking America, and that's our
It's
First
just-
Amendment.
It's still unfair though, and we still get treated unfairly. And jobs.
Yeah, and I hate to bring race into this, but especially white people. Like, white people right now are extremely terrified to speak up and say anything about the Black Lives Matter stuff, anything political, because they'll immediately be called a racist. Like, for example, if a black man or a woman got up and said Black Power or something, right? Like they say it all the time, Black Power, whatever.
Kneeling and shit.
It's just a thing. Yeah, Black Power. If I got up in the same room with the same people and said White Power,
They'd beat your ass to death.
they'd beat my ass. I'd be dead. They'd be kicking my ass out of the country. They'd be labeling me a racist, a KKK member.
You couldn't go
It
anywhere.
doesn't matter.
You couldn't go anywhere. That's it. Once you're labeled a racist,
If I say White Power, Which, for one, I'm not saying that the Black Power thing is racist because it has a different meaning behind it. But if I said it like that, I mean, would it be a little racist? Yeah, because I don't believe one race has power more than any other race. But I'm just saying black people can stand up and they can say those things. There was a woman, sorry, I ate some tacos. So there was a woman in a university. This was about 9 months ago or so. She stood up in the university and she pretty much said, there are too many white people in here, so I would appreciate it if you would get up and leave so that us minorities can do our work. There's way too many white people in there. And there was somebody filming them, and the girl that was filming her started clapping and shit. And everybody else was just kind of like, what the hell? Like, she should have been expelled. Like,
that's ridiculous.
But since she was a black girl, it doesn't matter. And I don't want to say this because it's probably going to piss people off, but this is straight facts, okay? There's probably honestly more black privilege in the world than there is white privilege. And I've heard many black people say this. That's why I'm going to say it. I'm going to piggyback on that and say that because there's plenty of people out there. There's plenty of black conservatives out there that I think that if you guys like what we say on here, go listen to them so that you know that I'm not just talking out of my ass. They've encouraged me to speak up as a white male in America because they say that more white guys, men especially, need to stand up and speak out or this is never going to end. We're always going to be labeled as racist. We're always going to be labeled as the superior race when that is just not true whatsoever.
I mean, can I ask you a question, man? I mean, have you ever felt any of the privileges that we've been bestowed? Because I haven't.
No, and here's an example.
I haven't seen any privileges that I've gained from being white.
No, it's not like we get a white paycheck.
Nope.
It's not like, and they're trying to give black people reparations for slavery.
They are. They're doing that. They're doing it right now.
That is the stupidest idea ever. I'm not having that shit taken out of my paycheck. There is not a black man in America alive today that has ever been a slave. Not a black woman that has ever been a slave. You can't even, if you want to track, how's that even going to work? If you're mixed, are you going to get a check? If you are black, but your ancestors were not black all the way back then. You know there's black people in America now that their ancestors were actually slave owners. But they're out here in the streets screaming Black Lives Matter. I'm not just saying mostly. It's mostly white people in the streets screaming that shit.
Those are
the white people are really the people that are pissing me off right
now. Those are the ones that may
sound racist right now.
No, they are the most racist. Those white people are the most racist.
Yeah, they're out here literally not letting people like me talk. They're canceling, quote unquote, cancel culture, canceling people like me, like Josh, like people with a free mind that actually, take the time to look these things up, educate themselves, watch more than one news outlet, do the research before opening their mouth. Not seeing one status update from LeBron James and saying, oh, hell, all white people are racist. They're out here hunting. Oh, God. Not only we get started on LeBron James.
Basically, we shouldn't be shamed for being white. There's nothing wrong with being white.
You shouldn't be shamed for being black either.
No.
You shouldn't be shamed for being Asian. You shouldn't be shamed for being Muslim. I mean, I'm a Christian, but I mean, I don't care who you are.
But like to say, for these white people that are Black Lives Matter, these white people that are Black Lives Matter supporters, they're not. They're
out there pretty much admitting that, hey, we are better than you.
Yep.
But hey,
I'm with you though.
I don't think it's right, but I mean, we are better than you, but I'm still gonna be out here burning down buildings. I don't care about black people though. Now, Black Lives Matter. Everybody, I mean, Josh, you can get behind those three words, right? Black Lives Matter. I mean, it's true, right?
Yes.
But the movement behind it is completely
it's a
different.
Perverted
it
sense
it should be only some Black Lives Matter.
It's a perverted
only
sense of fucking bullshit. It's just it's a big give me a check scheme. That's all it is. And what?
It's only some Black Lives Matter. It's only black guys that were killed by white men or white police officers, especially, lives matter. None of these 15 people that just got shot at a funeral in Chicago 3 days ago, their lives don't matter. Because they're in gang violence, they're in Chicago, so that doesn't matter, right?
What about black police officers?
What about black police officers that are out here? They literally do not know your name, but they put their life on the line for you when you're in trouble.
And they're not screaming Black Lives Matter. I mean, they're not protesting.
Screaming Black Lives Matter. There's black cops out here that are speaking out against it, and then they have white people coming up to them and saying, no, you're oppressed in America. You don't have rights, blah, blah, blah. My mom was friends with somebody on Facebook, and damn, I know she's probably not going to listen to this podcast, but I hope this woman does. She randomly posted on Facebook, so why don't we, give black people rights? Huh?
What?
What? What rights do they not have? What rights do black people not have? Can they own homes?
Yep.
Yes. Can they get jobs?
Yep.
Yes. Can they support their family if they put in the time, the effort, and the work? Yes. You know what a problem is that a lot of people just don't want to talk about as well? The nuclear family. Nobody cares about having a father in the home anymore. Nobody cares. These women nowadays, they don't want to have the father in the life because they're like, no, that's my baby. That's my son. No. These young men, these young women, under 10 years old and stuff, they need to have an example of a father or a father figure in their life. It doesn't have to be their biological father, but they need to have somebody in their life. If you live in a single parent household for your entire life without a father, statistically, you are more than 200% more likely to end up in a penitentiary one day, to commit suicide, to do drugs, to just go down the wrong path, simply because you didn't have a father in the household. You didn't have somebody that stayed by their family and set an example. So white men, black men, Asian men, I don't care. Stand by your family. I know you're not going to listen to me. I'm 22 years old. I'm ignorant, right? But that's a statistical fact. You need to stay by your family. I mean, I wasn't really fortunate enough to have that. But Josh, I think your father always stayed by you.
Yes.
And you should be very grateful for that because, and honestly, next time you see him, just thank him for that. I bet he'll appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I even, I tell him all the time, I try to tell him, how thankful I am for the opportunity. He's the entire reason that I've been employed, where I have been, for the past 5 years and have been able to grow as a person and have been able to learn more knowledge in the automotive industry. He's taught me everything I know about, the automotive industry and cars in general. He's probably one of the most, and I'm not trying to, kiss ass or, toot his horn or anything like that.
That's your dad, man.
That's my father. And, and I think he's probably one of the most intelligent automotive, technicians that there ever was. He's probably one of the best carburetor guys that there ever was. He's just smart, and that's why he's doing what he's doing. That's why he's been running this business for 20 years, and we've been doing great. So,
and sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good, man.
Before I forget it, I want to say my mom is married to a different man now, and he's more of a father to me than anybody ever has been in my entire life. And now I can kind of see, I can definitely see the benefit of having a father your entire life. Like, my mom did a fantastic job. I think I turned out just fine, like better than most people, honestly. And that's because she was both. Like, she was the mom, she was the dad, she was everything. She was the auntie, she was the meemaw, she was everything, man, like everything. But now she's married to a man that actually cares about me and doesn't mind teaching me these things and giving me these life lessons and stuff that I was not able to have when I was younger. And I know the podcast is dragging out. We'll end it here in a couple of minutes, but I just thought that was really important to add all of that stuff in at the end here. If you made it this far in the video, I do just want to say thank you so much if you did make it this far, comment the word cactus in the comment. Actually, no. This is what we're gonna do, okay? If you're a Christian, comment down Jesus matters, all right? Not Black Lives Matter, Jesus matters, okay? Because nothing else matters until Jesus matters, okay? And that's just how I look at it. I know that Josh isn't really religious and stuff like that, but I think that he'll eventually get to that point.
I don't want to be the guy that's like, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. You know, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I'm very much agnostic, and I do believe that there's no reason that we were just created by chance. I don't
by
think
a random atom.
No, I don't think so. I believe that there's something that has to be, you know, beyond us, whether it's a simulation or whether there's, whether God and Jesus, are real, and Jesus is my savior and all of this stuff. That's what I came up believing. But my standpoint is, there's so many religions, and I just don't want to get into that. But maybe one day, Isaiah's right, and maybe
that's what I said. Maybe one day, maybe I can teach him and bring him up, and then maybe he can be, God-fearing man, like I'm trying to turn myself into.
I fear something. I fear something. Don't get me wrong. Something's up there to definitely be scared of.
Yeah.
But I just don't know what. But until I do, or I am sure, then I will know.
Yeah. But hopefully we'll get to that point one day, and then we can have discussions like that. But until Josh is comfortable, I'm not going to force him to do or say anything. But for people that are Christians and they believe that Jesus died for them, just comment down below. Jesus matters, because until he matters, nothing on this earth matters, period. And that's just the way I think about it. Okay, so I love you guys. I will see you guys next week. This should be coming out tonight, the 24th of July. I don't know, it depends. I have to edit a couple other videos as well, so this may be coming out Saturday, but regardless, this will be coming out on the weekend, the last weekend in July. Actually, no, I think next weekend is the last weekend in July. Whatever. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for watching this long ass podcast or listening. Give us some tips down in the comment section of what you guys want us to talk about, touch up on, give our opinions and thoughts on. And as always, love you guys. And is there anything that you want to say to close out the show, Josh? I'm gonna give you the floor.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you. I also want to go ahead and shout out Isaiah. I want to go ahead and shout out the DWA Live channel, which we're about to post some more stuff on. I want to go ahead and just thank Isaiah, though, and go ahead and take a second. He's praised me a lot in the past few podcasts, but I haven't really talked about, too much about him. I do want to thank him for coming to me about this entire podcast. Like he said, I had been waiting so long for somebody to come along one day, and just by chance, they want to start a podcast. And finally, Isaiah kind of, we sort of bounced the idea off of each other, and we decided, made the mutual decision to do this. And then we decided, I want to, Isaiah said, I want to do comedy skits, I want to do other stuff down the road. It all just kind of came together. So we started, doing this, and we've been doing it, weekly. We have, rarely fallen off unless it was, a personal issue or, just taking a day off. Everybody has those days, but, he's the whole reason that we're still doing this, and I try my best, keep his head up. He keeps my head up for sure. And I have to thank him for the quality of content, because I surely wouldn't be able to be, my funniest or, my most serious, or say the things. I wouldn't feel so comfortable saying the things I do all the time if it weren't for Isaiah. So, I just want to go ahead and thank you, bro. You opened my eyes to a lot of things, and I'm glad that we share a lot of the same similar thoughts and feelings about a lot of the same topics. Even though we do clash heads occasionally, that's going to happen. But, I really do appreciate you, and I love you like a brother, man.
Yeah, always, bro.
But
yeah.
Thank you, guys.
I love you guys.
Love you.
Thank you so much for watching. And like I said, comment down below if you made it this far. And as always, stay true to yourself and to each other, okay?